a lot of stuff for Xbox, bro.
Yeah, Xbox is crazy, dude. You cannot. We need to understand one thing because I've seen a lot of like discourse around it. Corporations are not evil, guys.
Yep.
They're not evil. They care about profit, and based on the recent reports that they almost losing half a billion in the last like 5 years, Xbox, they need to make huge changes. So they will see which studios they just overspend that they didn't and under delivered, and these people they will have like huge hits. Yeah, it's not a very good thing. It's very sad, but that's how it works at the end of the day. So one thing that I want to actually discuss about like what you were saying about overhiring and overspending, one of the biggest like things that we can say about is Ninja Theory. Ninja Theory is literally the cleanest example that we can actually speak about. Hellblade 1,
Hmm.
Senua's Sacrifice, it was a masterpiece of a game.
Literally a masterpiece. Was a great game.
But this game made with by 20 people with a budget of under $10 million, and in the first 3 months they sold 500,000 copies. They generated $13 million, which is basically they broke even and they make profit as well. Now, when they were doing it, they were just like an indie studio. They weren't like under the Xbox umbrella, Since Xbox bought the whole studio, acquired the whole studio, and start making Hellblade 2, the team from 20 people became 100,
Hmm.
80, 100, around that. Imagine how much money they would spend for the second game. And based on the reports that they have on many like articles, it didn't sell very well, the second game. We don't know how much they are the earnings of Xbox,
Yeah.
of the Game Pass, from the Game Pass, but that's one of the things. It's one of the things that I really am pissed as well about Game Pass, because we cannot have clear image, if the clear picture, if the games actually sell enough or they
Yeah.
don't sell. You know what I mean? So that's why we cannot be critical against Ninja Theory, Compulsion, whatever, because we don't know if they actually have a revenue. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or like profit at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
and Xbox Game Pass bundles everything all together, so you don't know exactly what's sold and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've talked about Game Pass in the past, and like we have our problems with Game Pass as like a marketing strategy. I don't think Game Pass is working. Uh, I'm really not, and it shows now more than ever. It shows that Xbox is reconstructing basically everything about Xbox.
Yeah.
The reset, as Asha put it in one of her interviews, seems like everything is going to be reset. And I want
Yeah.
to see a change in strategy on Game Pass as well, because this thing is not working. You've had like Game Pass for what is it, like 6 years, 7 years now, and
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
and from those 6 years, let's say 5 of them were a loss. So clearly, it's not working, and
Hmm.
the it doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the games on the Game Pass library. It doesn't have anything to do with how many games you have on the library. It's just not a good strategy. Game Pass is not a good strategy because you are missing out on so many sales. Like, let's take Hellblade: Senior Sacrifice 2 for example. um if that game was just standalone and you had to buy it to play it, yeah, maybe it's not the best for the consumer, but it's, it's not the best for the company as well to have it on Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense for the company, but they still did it.
Hmm.
So we want, I mean, talking
Yeah.
about me and George, we want a sort of like a reconstruction on the strategy of Game Pass.
But we don't hear
I don't
anything
know.
about it.
Hmm?
Only thing that we hear, sorry that I'm
Yeah,
interrupting. Only thing that we hear is like layoffs and all that, but we haven't
yeah,
heard anything about like what's gonna happen with Game Pass. The only thing that we know is that Call of Duty
yeah.
is off now, so they lower the price. We don't know anything else. You know, are they planning to do anything any changes on this? Is it a problem?
I
Is it not a problem? I don't know. Dude.
I would be happy if they released their first party games a year after on Game Pass, because you need to make those initial sales.
Yeah,
You cannot just make a game, like spend $100 million on a game, make it and release it for free on Game Pass.
plus that
Like,
there's a lot of marketing as well
yeah,
prior, you
of
know,
course.
like so you put a lot of marketing
I
pre-release.
mean, marketing is
And
in the budget, yeah, but
yeah, it is, but all I'm trying to explain is like you butchering your marketing,
mhm,
your funding to marketing, you know what I mean, like to marketing a game that it will be available with 21.99 bucks
yeah,
rather than, as you said, which in my opinion that's the restructuring that they need to do. As you
hmm,
said, you know, that the first parties they need to come later. Don't know
yeah.
when. Might be six
There's
months if they break
there's
even or
no
whatever.
there's no problem if you release like your games on Game Pass like a year after. Like, there's literally no problem. People will buy your games day one, and all the other gamers that don't want to spend like $80 on the game will buy Game Pass a year later to play them. That's fine, but you're losing so much money on the initial sales by putting the game on a Game Pass. Like, it's moronic in a sense. Like, it's not a good strategy at all, and I think they should change that.
Definitely, they need to change that. But one of the reasons they don't do it is because hopefully us are gonna do it. But Xbox in since like Xbox One era, the last gen, obviously, they just you know they just build the whole community, the whole mindset around how we will reach the primary goal: 100 concurrent subscribers on Game Pass. So in order to do that, we needed to expand our library, you know?
Yeah, that's
And by expanding the library, you need to acquire many studios
yeah,
with the huge, literally the iceberg level that probably that could sink a whole Titanic is
yeah,
Activision acquisition, which was
yeah.
like 68.4 billion. That's a lot of money, dude. I don't know
That's
if they can come back to get this money back. You know, even if you have like a big title as Call of Duty, you cannot do it. You cannot make this money
how
so
many
easy.
how many Call of Duties do you have to develop to make back that money, like
Probably a lot, dude.
to break
Many,
even?
many,
Like,
many, many, many.
I don't think the investment was good at all. Like, even getting Call of Duty on Game Pass was not the
In the end,
decision to make. Couldn't
it's
you
not that
have,
good.
like, instead of buying out the whole company, could you have like an agreement with them to be on Game Pass instead of like burning $70 billion on Activision? Um,
The acquisition is not a bad thing, in my opinion, dude. Really, it's not a bad thing. Like if you
yeah, but
actually
it costs 70 billion.
yeah, it costs 70 billion, but you could make a lot more money if you know how to do it. You know what I mean? Because the good thing about Xbox right now with Activision is that the 60% of players of Call of Duty, they come from PS.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit of Xbox, of like Call of Duty still being playable on PS, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the best thing that happened to them. So I don't think that the acquisition is a bad thing. What is it is really bad is like you make all these acquisitions just to fill Game Pass. You know what I mean? That's was the problem. Just to increase the value of Game Pass, so you will bring more subscribers in. But that's where you shot yourself in the foot, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about the same thing, but all I'm saying is that the Activision's acquisition was 70 billion. I mean, the acquisition itself wasn't bad, but 70 billion dollars is a lot of money to to make back and break even. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of money. It's a huge amount of money.
They will make the money back, in my opinion, about that. If they will know how to do it, they will make it back. But
In
I
my
see a lot
opinion,
of
to make 70 billion back, you have to do everything right. Like you cannot make any mistakes.
that's what we're trying. That's what we're trying to say now.
Yeah.
Because that they don't do the things right,
Yeah, of
and
course. Yeah.
that people now right now they just having a constant war around. Ninja Theory will go, Compulsion will go, Double Fine will go. So all these indie level studios, like they will be the first to hit, and then we focusing just for the big IPs and huge IPs. I don't think that's the case. Like people, they think that because these small studios they go, that they focusing on 343 industries, about like Halo, Coalition with the new Gears. I think if Gears doesn't sell well, I don't think that they will be fine, because it's a game that costs 400 million,
Yeah.
a $400 million game, dude. So I don't think that it's easy for them either. So by saying that they focusing on the big IPs, it kind of a little bit makes sense, but I don't think that these big IPs they're safe either.
No, definitely not. I think like Xbox needs to, from this point forward, has to make like 90% of their decisions have to be the right decisions. Otherwise, it's all bad news. Like the majority of their ideas and decisions that they're going to make need to be the right ones.
I'm gonna say it again: Game Pass is not profitable, and I don't think, and they just been blinded by their own ambition and foolishness, in my opinion, that they thought that by 2028 or 2030, whatever, they thought they if the smallest thought right on their head, they literally thought based on the Xbox One sales, which was stupid in my opinion. I don't know who take these decisions. Was it Phil? Was someone else? I don't get it, dude, because that was really stupid. Whoever thought had these expectations, these unrealistic expectations, that Game Pass eventually will reach 100 million. 100 million subs. That must be naive or clueless, dude.
with, you are literally talking about like a tenth of all gamers worldwide.
Probably, yeah. 100%.
like that's so unrealistic. And it's not like a free service. Like it's not like Facebook, which is like a social media and it's free. This is a paid service.
Yeah.
You cannot expect you to have like everyone on board, or like how is that going to happen? First of all, they need to have Xbox or PC first of all, and we know that a big majority of gamers play on PlayStation only. Like
Yeah.
and not all PC players and not all Xbox players are subscribed to Game Pass. Like it's such an unrealistic like
Expectation. Yeah.
idea to have. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't think that Nintendo, okay, Nintendo and Sony together they might. I don't think that they will reach 100 million subscribers.
No,
Not Xbox alone,
definitely not Nintendo.
especially based how Xbox One tanked.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like how you could make this. We look up to Netflix, but it's not the same thing,
it's not the
dude.
same.
Even the industries are they having like 20 times this. They're 20 times the size. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Movies, films,
series.
series, like all this stuff, and they don't. You don't need to spend like 100 million for a season one
Yeah,
on a Netflix show. You know what I mean? So it doesn't work like that. We don't have the audience, but we spend way more. We need more money to actually create games. You
hmm
know what I mean? So in my opinion, in order to actually work this thing with these new AAA figures that we have nowadays, we might have one. We might need 150 million.
yeah.
Who's gonna be a subscriber to this one, dude?
They're gonna beg people to subscribe twice. Like that's the only way you're going to get to that number. It's like crazy.
And I really hate the green team a lot because people that will come now to us with torches and pitchforks, whatever, like, oh, how you going against to such a consumer friendly like method? Because it doesn't work. That's why.
It's not working. Like Xbox gonna die because of this. Shut up.
Exactly, dude. It's just
uh,
like people listen to how cheap these people they thinking, dude. I would rather I'm gonna say it clearly. I would rather pay 70 or 80 bucks. What? Oh, they will burn me. They will burn me to the ground because I said 80 bucks. I would rather like pay 70, 80, even 100 bucks for a game that is really good rather than having this subscription that they will cost like 30 bucks a month
yeah,
and have like 500 games because I know that in 10 years down the line this will be very bad thing for the company and the studios I really love and the games that I love.
yeah. Even if
I
it
cannot stress
works
this
out,
enough.
even if
Yeah,
it works out for Xbox, like let's say Game Pass is huge and Xbox is making $2 trillion per week, whatever the fuck. It's still going to be bad for the rest of the development teams and the rest of the platforms. It's going to be like is either it's going to be lose lose or win lose like that. That's it. Like it's a
it's not a
terrible
good.
terrible tactic and it's not working out. I mean, we can see that it's not working out,
And we
and
will
it's
say it again. We don't want to get rid of it. Just restructure it.
yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah,
have it. In my opinion, do you want to be more consumer friendly for you guys? I will be 100%. Listen to me. I could. It could be possible Game Pass to become like 14 and 70 bucks and not 21. Just remove all the first parties from day one and release them after 1 year, as Michael said.
yeah, yeah,
After 2 years, make the money and then give it as a service, already as a service, 17 bucks and 14 bucks based on the library, the huge library that they already have. It's value for money.
yeah,
Like anyone who is a good gamer and wants to play games with 70 bucks, even with 21 bucks a month, you have a library of 500 games. Are all of them very good? Obviously not. Some of them they're really good.
yeah.
But even now, the games that we have, it's valuable. Just all the future releases, move them after one
Yeah.
year. We don't want to
Even
get rid of like Game Pass.
even that, like if you release the games a year after, if you don't want to do that for some reason, just you can remove remove your games from the library, like for the day one releases, I mean, add them 6 months later.
Yeah,
But if someone is a subscriber to Game Pass, they can have like a 30% discount to the game.
yeah.
Like, isn't that value for money? Like, there are so many ways you can restructure this thing, and it will be more profitable for Xbox.
I
Like
totally agree
gamers,
with you.
like listen to me. If you want Xbox to survive. Xbox has been here since our childhoods. I remember the first Xbox, like the cement block, like the huge one. I remember it from my childhood. I don't want. I'm not an Xbox fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't want them I don't want to see them gone. But with this model, with Game Pass, Xbox is going to die.
Yeah.
We cannot have that. We need to talk about ways that they can restructure Game Pass and Xbox as a whole and make it work so the company doesn't shut its doors. It's that simple. It's not about, I mean, it's all about the consumer, but the company doesn't have to bend over backwards for the consumer. Like Game Pass is that thing exactly. Like they're bending over backwards for the consumer. That's too much. That's too much of a stretch to for pleasing the consumers.
Yeah.
That's it. Like you can do so much better. Yeah, the consumers are not going to be as satisfied as they are now, but you are going to lose your studios. You are going to lose your platform if you keep this up. So you have to
Yeah.
change.
And we can actually like agree. We can actually confirm what you're saying right now because even Microsoft, that basically, Microsoft and Xbox is one.
Yep.
That's what people they need to understand. Microsoft right now, the latest reports they saying that considering spinning Xbox into its own subsidiary. That's probably a reason why, right? That
I mean,
probably
yeah.
probably they have internal funding from Microsoft to Xbox and
Yeah.
bleeding the money. Like if it was healthy, Microsoft they wouldn't want to be detached by
Yeah.
Xbox and be its own independent company kind of thing. But obviously they are the leaders.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that all of these things is based on on Game Pass numbers, right? Because there is
Yeah.
a lot of there is like a collection of things that happen
Hmm.
in the last like 5, 10 years, previous generation as well. That it's not working for Xbox. You know what I mean? And I remember like there is a lot of people that were saying that Xbox Game Pass it might be in a better like position if we had actually good history of good games in the last
Hmm.
like 7, 8 years. I totally agree with this claim. And that's what I was saying about like Phil. Phil is a great guy, but under his leadership, they didn't deliver good games. And
Yeah.
they overspent on games that they didn't need to overspend. Like they don't have a good judgment back then. And that's why Asha needs to be aggressive right now.
Yeah.
She needs to actually do something. Otherwise, as you said, we might lose the green team.
Yeah. Uh,
And that's sad, dude.
that would be the saddest day of the decade. Like losing Xbox is like, you're losing all of these classic titles with it as well. Of course, maybe they could be acquired by the other companies, maybe Sony, maybe another independent studio, but you're losing Halo, like you're losing Fable. There are so many examples with
Gears, yeah.
the Xbox 360 era and the original Xbox. Like you cannot wouldn't want to lose Xbox because there are so many beloved franchises with that are basically tied with Xbox, and you don't want to lose that. Also, you don't want to lose Xbox because you are decreasing competition in the industry. Like
Yeah.
we have three companies right now, and PC, which is like a collection of both, and there also are indies which are independent, but losing competition is like straight up bad for us as gamers because it gives footing for the other companies to do what they please. If everything goes in that direction. Someday we might have a monopoly against gamers, and who
That's
wants a
another thing.
monopoly in any industry? No one, because that's so bad for the consumers. It's only good for the company that produces a product, and you don't want that. You don't want that in your near or far future. You don't want that.
Yeah, they need immediate actions. They need to change the whole structure of Game Pass in order to turn
Yeah.
this around, in my opinion. Because as I said like 2 episodes ago, the problem with Game Pass is that Xbox right now teach the players to spend like 20 bucks a month rather than 70, and
Yep.
people they will not gonna do it, dude. Like people they love Forza, the new Forza, let's say, they might buy it, you know, but
Hmm.
there might be 5%, 10% of the people that they bought it, you know what I mean? Like all the major sales probably there from Steam, and the game sold a lot of like copies. Don't get me wrong, like it's a success. This
Mm.
game is a successful game, but the majority of people they would be like, why would I go and spend 70 bucks to buy the game when I can easily like play the game for 10, 20 hours with 21 bucks? Like
Yeah.
that's how you teach the audience. Now a lot of people they will be like, yeah, but if the service is there, why we don't use it? I'm not saying that don't use the service. I'm just saying that by using the service, Xbox teaching you to keep using the service. That was the purpose,
Yeah.
and that was the wrong thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because
Because
right now, how you will transition them? How?
yeah, no chance. They're already accustomed to that strategy, so they're just gonna keep subscribing. And one thing I've said before is that when Xbox releases a game like that's really good, let's say Gears of War, people are just going to sub for 1 month and
Hmm.
they're gonna cancel afterwards. They're gonna play the game, they're gonna beat the game, and they're gonna leave the service.
Exactly.
That's the one major flaw that I have they thought about that. Like it seems not like they must have thought about that, but people are going to sub for 1 month, beat the game, and then cancel. That's it. But the whole idea of this strategy for Game Pass is that you want recurring month after month subscribers, and that's just not gonna happen. That's why I'm saying that you need to release the games a year afterwards, because
Yeah.
if the gamers want to play that game, specifically that game, they need to pay full price. Maybe after a year add it to Game Pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
now it's great, but you cannot add your best selling games day one on Game Pass, because people are just going to sub for 1 month and that's it, and you're going to lose them.
Yeah. And as we said earlier, like you butchering your own marketing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because these people they just working their asses off to make amazing advertisements, like to have
Yeah.
exposed to expose the project, whatever, and then in the end they will be like available on Game Pass day one. You know what I mean? People they will be like, "Yay, 21 bucks, finish." You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
21 bucks. I'm finished. Yeah. Yeah.
But losing
There
is losing 50, losing like losing 15 bucks, 50 bucks like easily,
yeah.
like from games like Halo or whatever. You know what I mean? Because even people they will be like, okay, let's say that we sell or the majority of the sales they coming from Steam. Yeah, but getting the 30%, still you make more money. You're still making more money rather than a guy paying 21 bucks to play a library. And that's the thing that you said, like most of the games, and that's how we are as gamers. Gamers, it's a little bit rare to return to a game that we already finished.
Hmm.
And you're completely right about that. And I saw an amazing I saw an amazing like example about it, with a guy says that the main reason that I want to keep HBO subscription is because I will have 24/7 Sopranos, Game of Thrones, whatever, because they're not available anywhere else.
Hmm.
you know? And that's why I want them for 12 months, because if I want to return, I will have them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gaming, on the other hand, the majority of people, they will not gonna resubscribe to play a game that they already played.
Yeah.
You either need for 12 months, which is unrealistic as hell, right?
Yeah.
For 12 months, every month to release a banger after banger, every month, 12 games, right? Which
Yeah.
is highly unlikely for people to keep subscribing, subscribing on the platform. Otherwise, you cannot do it. Like you will
Yeah.
have these tanking months, as you said,
Yeah. Yeah.
that because you don't have anything. You don't have any games, you don't have anything. You'll have like people that they want to play games, but yeah, how many people they will keep 24 months? No, sorry, 12 months the subscription. They cannot do it.
It's
Even if you get the annual pack, you don't do it, dude.
yeah, it's highly unrealistic to expect like gamers to like have a subscription for the whole year. Yeah, there are a lot of people that have Game Pass for the whole year and they play all the whole library, it seems, but that's just not the majority. They're like it's not even it's not the whole industry, it's not the whole community, as I would say. This model is not working because gamers are just going to subscribe for 1 month. They need to play like the new Forza, the new Gears of War, the new Halo. They're just gonna beat it and they're just gonna cancel, like
Yeah,
most of them. And even if you have like, even if the 34 million subscribers that they have right now on Game Pass, even if those are concurrent month to month subscribers, you don't want them to have your day one released on Game Pass. You don't want them to have that, because why
yeah,
would you? It's maybe it's, just to say that, oh, we have a service and if you subscribe you can have our latest games day one on Game Pass for free. And yeah, that's great and all, but it seems from all that we've seen in the past 5 years, it seems that that's hurting you the most. And like keeping at it seems like a terrible idea. Like
yeah.
it's crazy to think about.
And one of the good examples actually we could give about the growth that you said earlier about, like, it happened recently with Forza.
Hmm.
It was literally after 8 months, 8+ months of decline, they had the largest growth Game Pass for this 1 month that Forza
Yeah.
releases. Why? You
Why?
have like another like 10 or 15, 20 million, let's say, people that they subscribe because they
I
didn't want
would
to
bet
buy
like
the game, dude.
I would bet like the month after that it's gonna
Yeah,
be on the decline as well. Like
probably. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
I mean it's it's the logical thing. Like I'm not a like listen, I'm not a businessman. I haven't worked in business like a day in my life, but these are bad decisions. Like this is bad. Like it makes so much sense that it is bad. It's a bad idea. It's a bad tactic. I don't know why they keeping at it. I want to see change. That's what I want to see. I want to see like a decision that says, okay, you know what? Day one releases are not working out for us. First party titles are going coming like a year later down the line because
Yeah,
j- like one thing I saw that was great was they added in Xbox there's like a sort of like a forum now, sort of like Reddit,
yeah,
and people can comment and post things, and basically it's Xbox's way of getting direct feedback from their platform, and seems to be working out great so far. I saw that and I want to see like you know, Xbox implementing these comments and the feedback that they're getting. I want them to integrate all of it to Xbox. Like you need to listen right now. You need to listen to what your consumers want, and you
I
need
mean,
to fulfill their needs. You know.
and they need to understand what is your needs at the moment as a studio,
Hmm.
as a company. You know what I mean? Because people, one of the first like the major like things that the fans want from this poll system that they created is that they need more exclusives, which
Yep.
they did it with Gears and Clockwork Revolution. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
These two titles that will be exclusively launched on the on game on on Xbox. But the thing is, what worries me, right, is that the right call right now? That you don't have a lot of money. Like it seems that you don't. That's why you're doing the layoffs. You're going for a reset.
Hmm.
Like, what you want to do? Do you actually want to make sales, or you actually care to sell hardware? Because I think right now we're 5 years after the generation started. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think it's a little bit too late for people to force people to buy an Xbox. That's what I'm thinking. Plus, right now it's not the right call because all the platforms, all the consoles, they cost
Yeah.
tons more money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Their cost is like out of this world. Why? I mean,
Yeah.
I know why. I don't have to ask why. That was
And
a
if and
rhetorical
even NASA,
question.
even NASA said that they don't make money
Yeah.
from Xbox sales. They don't make money because it's really
Yeah.
expensive, the parts right now. So what do you want to do right now? What do you
I
want to
mean,
do?
it's not a bad idea to release games. Anyway, that's what they do. Like that's
Yeah.
what they should do. They make games, they sell games. But uh, if I see like Gears of War Day One on Game Pass, like I'm going to be
It
terribly
will be day one.
disappointed.
It will be.
I'm it's a terrible idea, and then keeping at it, like we'll see. Like it's gonna be terrible. like it's
And
it's
it
it's a
is
fact that
stupid.
people are going to subscribe and then just cancel. Maybe even straight away. I do that sometimes on Netflix. I sub, and a minute later I just cancel. So I get like 1 month.
Yeah. I don't
And
know, dude. Just
pe-
like, yeah.
people do that all the time, especially on Game Pass. Okay, I want to play one game which is available on Game Pass. Let me sub for 1 month, and then that's it. I'm out.
And we're talking about, as we said earlier, right? We're talking about like 400 million production. Like, you cannot ditch right now potential 2-3 million sales from PlayStation
Yeah,
gamers. You know what I mean?
seems like
That's money.
suicide.
I don't know. And I'm really afraid about Inxile because I think I don't know about like Gears of War if it would sell very well on PS, but I think Inxile Studios they making an amazing RPG title, a steampunk RPG title, and I think that PS gamers they would buy this game more.
Hmm.
And as a smaller studio with smaller scale and not so the fund is not like as great as obviously is
Hmm.
Gears of War. I'm afraid that if we will not gonna go well, we will lose them as well. And that's what I don't want to see, in my opinion, because they actually it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know. Fable it will be on PS.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The new Fable is gonna be on PS. Like, why these two games they cannot be on PS? And you will have. I'm pretty sure, like, if this gonna be exposed, this video, you will see in the comments below how many people from Green Team that will be like, "Oh my goodness, of course we need fucking exclusives. Why PlayStation does it? Because PlayStation doesn't have any problem with money. That's why they do it. They already sold 100 plus million PS5 consoles for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
That's why they don't care to release games on PC anymore. They tried to do it. They didn't make a lot of sales. They canceled it because they don't care. But like PS players,
Yeah.
they have a lot of PS players that they will buy their games regardless.
Hmm.
You have the problem right now.
Yeah.
You have the problem. That's why you're cutting so many jobs. That's why you're doing everything. I'm not saying that Sony is perfect because they have a lot of problems as well internally. But Xbox right now, they have huge problems. And I don't think that right now is the right call to go for exclusivity, to bring exclusivity back. You need to get your shit together,
Yeah.
regroup, and then do it.